Buenas tardes a todas, a todos, a todes. Gracias por acompañarnos en este ciclo de entrevistas virtuales del Women Economic Forum Argentina 2020. Hoy tenemos la segunda entrevista y hoy tenemos una invitada muy, pero muy especial, que es la creadora del WEF, la CEO global del WEF. Va a estar con nosotros acompañándonos Harbeen Arora, desde India. Pero previo a dar inicio a esta segunda entrevista, no puedo dejar de mencionar que hoy se cumplen 5 años del movimiento Ni Una Menos. No es un día para celebrar, es un día para seguir adelante con esta lucha. Desde hace 5 años que comenzó este movimiento por el femicidio de Chiara Páez. A partir de ese momento, las mujeres de todas las áreas, las feministas, tomamos la calle para empezar y seguir con esta lucha para que no nos maten más a todas. Hoy se cumplen 5 años, pero tengo que dar muy malas noticias, porque desde enero a junio del 2020 se realizaron 124 femicidios atroces. Y desde el confinamiento por el aislamiento obligatorio del COVID, 61 femicidios. Son cifras atroces y que tenemos que tomar muy, pero muy en cuenta porque este confinamiento está afectando absolutamente a las mujeres y provoca estos femicidios. Por eso no puedo dejar de mencionarlo. Estamos presentes en esta lucha desde el WEF y por eso quería hacer este recordatorio. Ahora sí, vamos a dar inicio a esta segunda entrevista. Buenos días, Harbeen. Buenos días, Giselle, que es nuestra directora ejecutiva, que también va a estar acompañándonos. Buenos días. Buenas tardes.
Buenos días.
Bien, Harbeen. Bueno, Harbeen es la CEO global del WEF, como bien lo dije. Es la fundadora de All League y es presidenta de la Cámara de Comercio e Industria de Mujeres de la India. Bueno, Harbeen, preguntarte, ¿qué te ha inspirado para crear el Women Economic Forum y para, de esta manera, enlazar esta lucha por el empoderamiento económico de las mujeres de todos lados del mundo? ¿Cuál fue tu motivación? ¿Qué te llevó adelante para crear desde el año 2015 el WEF?
Well, Harbeen, for the first question, we would like you to tell the audience that may not know of the history of the birth of the WEF. Means for you, what is your mission in this regard, and what inspired you to work for the union and empowerment of women across the world?
Thank you, my soul sisters. Namaste from India. And I want to thank you from doing this and continuing to work for WEF Argentina, especially in our times. They are getting difficult around the world, but you are like the sunlight. You are giving hope, you're giving sunshine, you're giving energy to every woman around the world, and right now to me. So thank you, Lina, Giselle, Carolina, and everybody in the WEF Argentina team for working so hard and also working with your heart, which is so, so beautiful and so empowering. And this is really the gift of the whole journey of the Women Economic Forum. And like any journey or like any big tree which begins to give fruit, we must remember it began with a small seed. And the small seed was just a desire that why can't women in the world be happy and have their fair share of success, fulfillment, joy, delight, and participate in a more empowered way in their own lives and in the lives of society and everyone around them. And it was just a quest, a simple desire, a simple quest. And we started walking the path. And the initial idea was that if we want the world to understand us, if we want equality between women and men, then we first must come together as one between women and women. Because when we talk about women, there is no one woman. There are women and women and women. Half the world is women. So if we women are not going to understand each other or are not going to work for each other, with each other in a more conscious, intentional way, then how can we expect others to understand us? So ours was born as a sisterhood movement, the All Ladies League. as a she for she movement, because by helping Lena, by helping Giselle, I, Harbeen, am helping myself. And that is the realization and understanding that we wanted women to have, that we are there to help each other. And we simply have to reach out to each other in a space of sisterhood, support, respect, kindness, and see each other as the biggest collaborators. Women are women's biggest collaborators. And we wanted this to become the mainstream thinking rather than the old world narrative of women are women's worst enemies. We have come a very long way from that sort of narrative. And today I'm so proud to see and say that we are seeing all over the world, because of the beautiful things set into motion by the All Ladies League, by the Women Economic Forum, and by women such as yourself all over the world who resonated with our message. This feeling was also inside their heart, but somebody had to start a movement. Somebody had to sort of tap into this latent, innate feeling that we all had, but sort of it never manifested and crystallized into a reality. And so it was easy. We simply had to light the lamp of love, and we got so much love from all over the world. And frankly, it was a very smooth journey in a way, because we did have initial why, what we are doing, but I think very quickly women got it. We understood, and that is why just in a matter of 5 years, 2015 is when we had the first Women Economic Forum in Goa, and 2020 when we had just completed the 35th edition in Egypt, where you all joined us with a beautiful delegation from Latin America. We have seen the phenomenal unity we've been able to have amongst women from all over the world, all cultures, all faiths, all generations. And not just women, women have brought in their sons, their daughters, their husbands, their brothers, their fathers, their mothers. It's been really about all, which is what is in the heart of every woman, to make sure that everyone is nurtured. And this is what we wanted to bring out. Then when you create a better world for a woman, she creates a better world for all.
Thank you. Harbeen, yo te quería preguntar, quería que hablemos un poquito de lo que fue el WEF Global, esta gala anual que se realizó por primera vez fuera de India, en el Cairo, Egipto, y tuvimos el honor de participar y de tener un panel exclusivo de argentinas. Y la suerte de participar porque volvimos y se decretó la pandemia. ¿Cuál es el balance que sacás de este nuevo formato, de haberlo hecho fuera de India por primera vez? ¿Y cuáles son las experiencias que rescatás de este evento en particular?
Well, Harbeen, Giselle wants to ask you, this year, for the first time, the Global WEF was held in Cairo, Egypt. So what is your balance on this new format of doing it outside of Delhi? And what experiences in particular does this event left you with?
Thank you, sisters. So as you know, every year the annual event was held in India ever since 2015. And then we started holding the regional events all over the world, like the one in Argentina, we held in Mexico, in Colombia, really all over the world, in the US, in Canada, in Europe, with thrice in the Netherlands, in the UK. So we've had about, as I said, 35 editions, including the annual ones in India and the regional ones all over the world, and in different cities of India as well. We had in Madurai, we've had in Guwahati in the northeast of India. So that was the format. And every time we've done, from the first to the second to the third, all these 35 editions, I've simply followed a soul sister who said, I want to do something. She raised her hand and I just followed her. And this is what happened really with the annual WEF, where we got a very prestigious invitation from the government of Egypt to hold which is from the National Council of Women, headed by my dear, dear soul sister, Dr. Maya Morsi, who brought to us an invitation to bring the global annual event to Egypt. She would work towards getting us the AGs of the president of Egypt. Now, this was the first time that a head of state of a very big country was lending us his prestigious auspices, his name, under which the annual event would be held. Now, that was a great validation and a great sort of celebration of the journey that we had been doing on our own with sisters, with the love of sisters. This was the first time that a head of state would lend his name, the office of the president's AGs and support would come on the annual event. And as I said, this was important, but more important for me was that this was being passionately, lovingly led by a very dear soul sister, Dr. Maya, who made all these, with a lot of love and esteem and respect. They invited us to Egypt. And I just thought, we have opened our hearts to every new opportunity that has called us with love. So why not? And we just went, and you all saw the magic. It was one of the most beautiful, grand, majestic events that we've held, fit like the queens of Egypt.
Thank you, thank you. Harbeen, yo quería preguntarte, como bien refirió Giselle, cuando volvimos de Egipto se desata la crisis sanitaria producto del COVID-19. ¿Cómo ves que ha afectado y se ha afectado de manera diferenciada a las mujeres esta crisis sanitaria? ¿Y cómo ves la situación de la mujer en India, en tu país?
Harbeen, just a few days after the end of this year's Global WEF, which took place on the first day of March, the health crisis went from local to global, and many governments took isolation and quarantine measures. Do you think that this health crisis has had a differentiated impact on women? And how do you see the situation of women there in India and in the world in this context?
I think this situation has caught everybody by surprise, off guard. It's really brought a meltdown in the whole world, which in Indian thinking, you always say, if there is a destruction of old forms, it's a way of reconstructing the new form. So I would like to look at it like that there is a shift from the old to the new. And yes, it has affected a lot of lives, not just health-wise, but economically, socially as well. There's been a lot of ruptures across the world, everywhere. And I think it's the first time that the whole world is united in feeling a certain thing in a certain way. And we all know something is shifting, something is changing, and the old world is the old way of doing things is not going to continue anymore, and a new way of thinking the world and imagining the world and doing things is required. And that affects everything: society, economy, health, all the different industries that are impacted, and it's no different in India. How it has affected women? Definitely, I mean, there are recessionary trends in the economy everywhere. And there is more of caretaking in the homes, there's more of homeschooling, there's more of elderly care. And women are at the forefront, as always, taking care and holding the fort and taking care of everything. And this is the reason, as you were there in Egypt, you heard us announce the She Economy initiative for next year. This is what we had thought on the 4th of March, 2020, when we announced that we would be launching She Economy, a global marketplace for women entrepreneurs worldwide to sell their goods and services, and we would do it by next year. However, when we all came back, and like you said, the local health crisis just escalated to a global one, and everything in the past 2 months has just completely changed, which is when we, just after that, we realized that we had to prepone. Of course, it requires resources, and we are a non-profit, and whatever. So we had to find a way to launch this digital marketplace, because everything is moving digital. People are traveling less, things are moving digital. So it is also an opportunity for women to reclaim the digital space much, much more than they have, and for us to convert our powerful global network into a powerful global marketplace. And this is what the She Economy endeavor is going to do, is that in these testing times, especially for women entrepreneurs, create an ecosystem, enable, empower, and facilitate a woman entrepreneur to find new markets, to expand her global reach, and to scale and succeed. So yes, it's challenging, but out of challenges, if you keep up your optimism and keep up your positive spirit, then you will find the next step that needs to be taken, and you take it fearlessly.
Harbeen, hablando sobre She Economy, que recién nos comentaste un poquito cómo se lanzó, se tuvo que anticipar por esta crisis sanitaria. Contanos un poquito más en detalle de qué manera se conectan las mujeres en todo el mundo a través de esta plataforma online, y particularmente si crees que estas nuevas formas de trabajo, estos nuevos portales que unen de alguna manera perspectiva de género y modernidad, si van a marcar la diferencia en este contexto que estamos viviendo, este nuevo contexto que estamos viviendo a raíz de la pandemia.
Harbeen, could you tell us a little more about how the She Economy portal unites women across the world? Well, considering the launch of She Economy in early March, do you believe that these new portals and ways of working, which are both gathering the gender perspective and modernization, will make the difference in this new normality that we are building?
Well, certainly, as you know, that we are a network of 200,000 women across all over the world, like over 120 countries everywhere in the world. And we are growing by referral, through our events, through our outreach. We are growing every day. And we have a mission million as well. So in the next 2 years, we want to reach 1 million members and supporters all over the world. Now, from a portal, from a platform perspective, that translates into a huge community of vendors, sellers, merchants, who will be putting up, not 1 million, of course, there will be, let's say, 10,000, 20,000 people putting up their products, their different kinds of goods, their different kinds of services. By the way, it's the first time there's a platform dedicated to women offering services as consultants, as coaches, as mentors, which is a very large proportion of women in different sectors. So we are looking at, again, a huge community of women all over the world, which will not only be consumers or customers on these portals, on the platform, but also energize the community of entrepreneurs. Because when you come to the platform and you see very, very inspiring works, enterprises started by women, where women are doing all over the world, and you will have it country-wise, you'll have it sector-wise. And when you see that, it's very inspirational and empowering for a woman sitting anywhere in the world to feel that she can dream too, that she can do it too, and that she can come and set up, an account and start selling her stuff, and she can find customers, people who will look at what the goods and the services that she has to offer us as an entrepreneur, and widen her reach. So I think it's very empowering from a feeling perspective. Of course, it's very empowering from a platform perspective, and the reach and the community that we have, that of course is there. But I think it's more empowering from a feeling perspective that, oh, I can do this too. If I dream it, I can do it. I can dare it, because there is a support system, there is an enabling platform, which is not just about commerce, but which is about connections, which is about community, which is about conversations, which is about business to business collaborations, and coming up with new businesses. So for instance, if there is a painter in India and there is a product designer in Argentina, you can collaborate and come up with new niche products that are not available. From a market perspective, these would be very niche products which are not available on mainstream portals which usually offer mass-produced goods. These would be niche, labors of love offered by women. These would be unique, creative, and there is no platform from a pure positioning point of view. There is no platform in the world which offers products made in goods and services from women entrepreneurs all over the world, niche products, which also has a community. So I think when you put everything that we have got together as a beautiful bouquet, there is no other platform in the world existing like that for anybody, leave alone for women. So I think it's a great new stride. I ask for divine blessings to support this project as well, as the divine has supported the All Ladies League and the Women Economic Forum, and why not? Things will go on very well. Yes, it is challenging even for us to put it together because it does require a lot of resources, and as we all know, these are very testing times, but our family foundation is doing whatever we can to make it happen. And June, this is the month when we are talking, that I'm hoping and praying and working very hard to bring the first version of the sheeconomy.in to all of you.
Thank you, thank you. Harbeen, bueno, realmente muy interesante todo lo que nos estás contando y me interesa saber, según tu perspectiva, tu visión de las luchas de las mujeres en todo el mundo, qué diferencias y qué similitudes ves entre la lucha de la mujer asiática, la lucha de la mujer de Medio Oriente y la lucha de la mujer latinoamericana. Quisiera saber tu visión al respecto.
Harbeen, we would like to thank you for your reflections on the differences and or parallels that you can observe between the struggles of women both in Asia in particularly and in the whole world in general.
It was in one of our WEF events, we had a diplomat speaking, and she said a very nice thing, and I really resonated with what she said, and it's become my reality as well, that initially when you start moving out and start meeting people from different countries, you notice the differences. You see, oh, this is so different from what we do, this country is different. But as you persist and as you persevere and you go on in your path and you have more experience of meeting more and more people from all sorts of diverse backgrounds, you enter into a very sort of calm realization that initially you start with how different we are, but you settle down with how same we are, And so, of course, there are cultural nuances, in let's say in India or Japan or Egypt or Middle East or Latin America, United States, Canada, even in different countries in Europe. We held an event in Slovenia, we've held in Netherlands. Of course, when you go there, you see the history of that place, the culture of that place, the faith of the people, the work that they are engaged in, the degree of, various things, where we are in our journeys as nations. All that reflects in the diversity. But deep down, frankly, I've learned to focus on that commonality which unites women from all over the world. And that commonality is that all the women of the world, no matter where they come from, are wanting to express their leadership with love, and that is the most beautiful part, that there is this whole feeling of doing things differently, doing up our world differently, relating differently with our planet, with the economy, with society, with children, with parents, with schools, with institutions, just having a different culture in place and bringing more love, suffusing more being and care into everyday life. And that, I believe, will automatically come once we have women advancing in their own inner journeys and progressing on their outer journeys, which is what we are doing with the support system that we are creating. So yes, I see differences, but it's not important beyond a point. It's interesting to see the differences, but and it's also a learning experience to understand and appreciate those differences. But in our work, what we do, we have to move beyond those differences, embrace those differences, understand and respect those differences, and yet continue to do what we can to bring out in every woman, in every part of the world, what unites us. And that is our feeling of love, of care, of nurturing one and everyone in this world. And that is what is so beautiful. The solutions to the challenges that face us in the world are right in front of us, embodied in every woman.
Thank you, Harbeen. Harbeen, ¿qué proyecciones tenés respecto del WEF, teniendo en cuenta que el mundo cambió, el mundo no es el mismo que conocíamos hasta hace unos meses? ¿Cuáles son las proyecciones del WEF global y de los capítulos regionales?
Harbeen, considering that the world will never be the same as we knew before the pandemic, what are your projections for the WEF from now on, both globally and for regions like Latin America?
Well, definitely there have been a few changes. As you know, we've the Women Economic Forum, all the 35 editions have been in-person editions. They've been face-to-face editions. And in fact, we've been very particular about connecting with the energies that we bring, connecting in person with all our authenticity, and being present to each other. And in fact, we would always discourage PowerPoints in the sessions as well, because we wanted women to connect from the heart, and whenever men join or young people join, them to also feel comfortable in their own skin and simply connect with storytelling from the experience of their humanity, and just feel and flow with that. Evidently, till the time that things normalize and the new normal sets in, like you said, we have to find ways and means to continue our connections, to keep up those connections. And we are exploring and working with the possibilities of the digital technology that is really enabling us to connect, like I'm connecting to you right now, across time zones, across, So for the first time, we are doing the Women Economic Forum in July. This is WEF Bangalore in India. And this is going to be our 36th edition, and it is going to be a digital summit. And I'm looking forward to the digital summits that you all will bring as well, along with some hybrid form of an event as well. Like I was speaking to Lena in Argentina, you're planning a version digital plus an on-ground event later in the year, by when we hope that we can actually meet in person as well. But definitely the digital is here to stay.
Yes.
Thank you. A ver, me sumo a esta pregunta de Giselle. ¿Y cómo ves que bueno, los capítulos de Latinoamérica y del Caribe que teníamos previsto justamente hacer nuestro WEF este año, que nos unamos y hagamos un WEF mancomunado conjuntamente toda América Latina con Caribe?
Harbeen, Lina wants to ask you, how do you see the perspective of the Latin American and the Caribbean WEFs joining together?
Well, I'm so glad to see, the collaborations among, at the All Ladies League, we have like 1,000 chapters all over the world. And the whole idea was why the Women Economic Forum was born, because all the members and chapter chairs of the different chapters at that point in time, 2015, which were much fewer chapters back then, wanted a platform, an opportunity where they could meet women and sisters from other countries and other chapters. And that is the genesis and the birth of the Women Economic Forum, where we said, why would people from different countries and different local chapters want to travel internationally to meet one another? Because they would want to exchange, develop their networking and their businesses beyond borders. And that would be the common aspiration that would bring people and women from different countries together. And because of which I met all of you beautiful sisters from Latin America, because you would be part of the annual edition in India, with Nadia Sanchez leading the delegation from different parts of Latin America to India. And that's how we expanded and we continued. And it is delightful to see that that journey, which was born because of the need to collaborate, is now matured and grown, that it is independently, institutionally collaborating amongst the different chapters which have matured and ripened and grown over a period of time, holding editions in their parts of the world. So it's, if I'm a mother, of all that is happening, then it's a beautiful growth. It's very satisfying. It's very gratifying to see the sisterhood and the collaborations continuing and growing. And we are truly a worldwide web of women, of wisdom, of action, of energy, of support and sisterhood. And I'm truly grateful for that.
Thank you. Bueno, Harbeen, y ya como para ir terminando, mencionaste la misión 2022, 1 millón de mujeres conectadas emprendedoras. Teniendo en cuenta esta crisis global, esta nueva normalidad donde saldremos afectados todos los países económicamente, pero claramente las mujeres seremos las más, y ya lo somos, las más afectadas, las que están trabajando generalmente informalmente, las que nos va a costar muchísimo más salir adelante porque siempre tuvimos una desigualdad y sobre esto se trata esta lucha. ¿Cómo ves estos objetivos de esta misión 2022? ¿Se va a reconvertir? Es decir, ¿cómo la van a adaptar a la nueva actualidad presente?
Harbeen, considering that we're close to the Mission Million 2022, what possibilities in terms of economic growth and with gender perspective do you see for the future? And do you think this project will change or will it be reconverted in this new context?
Well, as I said, we are now adopting the digital technology to connect more women. And frankly, it is this situation that has brought us to embrace the digital technology, because we were really like a face-to-face, in-person, a network of trust and truthful exchange. But it's wonderful that on the basis and the foundation of that kind of energy that we've already established over the past 5 years, we are able to now take the next step and move into exponentially expanding our network and connecting to women through the digital media, which will definitely help us, grow the Mission Million, and maybe it becomes a mission millions, in plural, not just a mission for 1 million, but a mission for many millions, because digital has that power, and we are now embracing that power, and all our chapters and all our different editions of the WEF, everybody's working together from all directions at all times. Even now, when things are a little depressive and recessionary, even now you are keeping up the energy and continuing to work, and that gives me a lot of faith and hope that not only will we meet the Mission Million with this new reimagined, digital sort of outreach, but we will exceed it. So positivity is a superpower. So I'm holding on to that superpower, and sisterhood is an even greater superpower, which I have come to very, beautifully experience and feel empowered by. And so if we have positive spirit, we have energy, we have sisterhood, and we are doing what we can, each one of us is pulling in with the actions and the wisdom and the energy and the support. Of course, we will meet the mission million. I'm not holding on too much to the 2022. It's just a goal in mind to have. But sooner than later, around that time, we will definitely exceed the mission million, and it's our destiny. We will achieve it.
Thank you. Bueno, para terminar, Harbeen, decirte que hoy te estamos escuchando muchas mujeres, muchas jóvenes, muchas niñas, no solamente de Argentina, seguramente de Latinoamérica y de diferentes partes del mundo, y como permite la tecnología, esto va a quedar en YouTube y lo van a seguir escuchando. Hoy todas y todos y todes estamos muy preocupados, estamos viviendo un confinamiento, estamos preocupados por nuestra salud, estamos viendo cómo ha subido desmesuradamente la violencia contra las mujeres, los femicidios. También vemos que han sido las mujeres las que están en la primera línea de defensa sanitaria. Hemos visto cómo las tareas de cuidado siempre estuvieron sobre los hombros de las mujeres, pero hoy ha quedado evidenciado. Es decir, tenemos todos un grado de angustia de cómo seguir adelante con esta nueva normalidad. Frente a todo esto, queremos escuchar tu mensaje. ¿Cuál es el mensaje para estas mujeres, para estas niñas de Argentina y del mundo?
Harbeen, we would like you to, if you can, give a final message to all the women and girls that may be listening to you, especially in this context of isolation and quarantine measures that are powering anxiety and well, we're in dark times. So just a final message, if you could.
Yeah, I think they said, if there's a saying which says, if the seas are not, the oceans or the seas are not stormy, then the sailor does not become skilled enough, which basically means that if you don't face and meet challenges in life, your skills and strengths inside don't come out. And I think for the young people of this world, the young women, the young men, and everyone, I just want to say, and this is a universal message, whether it is a time of challenge like this, or it is a time of challenge like any other. We face so many kinds of challenges in our own families, in our own surroundings all the time, that it is in the times of challenges that it becomes ever more important to hold on to that light of love and hope inside of us and make the change that we can through our effort. If we start looking at the whole world and try to control the whole picture, it will never be possible, whatever kind of challenge we are going through in our own life. But we can definitely tap into that light of hope, that faith in ourselves, that we can still do the best, whatever we are capable of, and just that responsibility to keep your own energy elevated, to keep your own outlook positive, and to not give in to dark narratives which are going around you, but rather to tap into that light within and offer a perspective and a narrative of light that you can offer, and light that lamp in the darkness all around, because no matter how small the lamp, when it enters the darkness, it lights it up. So don't forget that power that you have right inside of you. And this is the time to access it, to tap into it, and you will become a better person because of that. And you will become a stronger person because of that. And it's all for your good if you tap into that energy inside of you. And you will find that strength and skill inside of you, which you did not know existed inside of you until you face this challenge. So thank this challenge in a way, because it is pushing you to find that greater goodness, that greater light inside of you, and bring it out and light up the world with that in whatever humble way you can. Never underestimate the power of one candle. And if we in sisterhood all over the world can light up that one candle each, imagine how much light of love in the world we would be radiating, how much light of hope and energy. And at the end of the day, it's only energy that we need. What do we need to shift the mood? We need energy to shift the mood. If there are people in the world who can see the positive, who can do things energetically, it will swing. It will swing the mood. It will swing the economy. It will swing the social phenomena. It will swing a lot of things if we just simply bring back that positive vibe, that ray of hope back into society. And again, the tentative and the effort is not to change anything in society, but to simply change it in ourselves. And when we do that, we automatically radiate that energy into our families, into our relationships, into society, and into our nations. So only messages, don't underestimate this power, immense, infinite power of the divine that each one of us has right inside of us, accessible to us. And let us in sisterhood help each other find that. When we can't find the energy to tap into that energy, let's hold each other's hand and be there for each other and motivate and support each other so that each one can find it for herself.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harbeen.
Bueno, con esto hemos terminado. Gracias, Harbeen. Creo que ha salido muy bien. No sé qué es lo que sentiste, pero bueno, no sé, Giselle, creo que ha salido muy lindo. Lo vamos a pasar esta tarde. Ahora lo vamos a editar con las traducciones correspondientes para que podamos entenderlo todos. Así que, bueno, te agradecemos. Pregúntale, Caro, ¿cómo se sintió ella?
Harbeen, thank you so much for your time. How do you saw the interview? Now we're going to process and translate so everybody can watch it and understand. But how do you felt?
Sorry, I didn't get that last point.
How did you feel?
I feel immensely grateful. I feel immensely grateful for your efforts, for your energy, for your warmth, for your love, for your care for the women of the world, and for all that you are doing, sisters, in Argentina, in your part of the world, holding up the light, holding up the torch of, which is showing the way to so many women. We just don't know. We simply carry on with faith. So I'm very, very grateful to you. Please accept my humblest, utmost gratitude for the work that you are doing in support and sisterhood. God bless you.
Nos agradece mucho por su
Bueno.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harbeen.
Namaste. Thank you, my sisters.
Te queremos, Harbeen. Bueno, gracias. Después te vamos a pasar el link, ya lo sabe, ¿no? Todo, para que lo pueda ver.
Facebook y YouTube.
Yes. I look forward. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sisters. Bye-bye.
Have a great afternoon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bueno, ahí estamos. Aparece Diego.